The Island Challenge Cup next, race number 12 on day 3 on the card here. And away they go, student women's 8s. Oxford Brookes, the current holders of this, but we'll watch Oxford University on the Buck station and Edinburgh University on the Bark station.
So these crews will not have raced each other. Oxford have not been out racing competitively since the bow race. And it's a mixture of their blue boat and their second crew, Osiris. And straight away, the crews are level. Really good start to the race. Maybe Edinburgh slightly ahead. So we'll see what these crews are made of.
Yeah, so lots of boat race experience in here as well. And we can join the action live. And Oxford University have taken the lead against Edinburgh University to the right of your picture.
Yeah, they managed to row from a canvas down to maybe half a length up here against Edinburgh. Still a long way to go, but it's for a crew that hasn't had any racing this summer, that's very composed.
Their schedule, their season is quite different to what they have to do because of the boat race. It changes things compared to many of these other boats that we see on the water.
Yeah, it's very interesting because they train. Everybody trains. The university students train about as hard as each other, but mentally, it's such a big thing for the students, and the way their timetable works at Oxford and Cambridge, particularly, sometimes they miss lectures to be able to train and that kind of thing, which is probably not official. Here, Edinburgh coming back looks like, doesn't it?
Well, it looks like they're quite close to the boom there as well. I was just having a look at Oxford University. They've got the cocks to guide them and keep an eye on that, but they were perilously close there.
They certainly are. But it's good to see it because normally we don't get many of the boat race athletes rowing in the summer and coming to Henley, but both the universities have got a lot of crews here racing, so it's really good to see the boat race programs bringing the athletes through the summer racing into the Henley.
Quarter of a length, maybe half a length lead for Oxford University, but this has got the makings of a really terrific race.
They really do. It's just Oxford starting to slip a little bit and get a bit further ahead. Edinburgh really need to stay with them here and just keep the battle going a bit longer.
Yeah, just a little bit more vigour and energy in the Oxford University boats in the first half of this race, but it's way too early to call this one.
And the way it works on the course is that because the way the stream meanders through the course, that there's a slight advantage on the near station, the Berkshire, at the beginning and the end, and the Buckinghamshire station has a bit less stream in the middle. So the Oxford are taking advantage of the middle of the course to get their bit, but as the course progresses, Edinburgh will gain the advantage again, so it'll be interesting how that pans out. Oxford seem to be making the use of their lane and getting out to about half a length.
Yeah, Joe Gelleth in the cock seat for Oxford University. That shows how tight this race is. That's the perfect image, isn't it, of two 8s going at it head to head.
They really are, they really are. You can get a judgment of the speed they're both going, how far their blades are covering the last puddle, and then compare them what sort of stroke rate they're doing to each other. But both screws are pretty much pushing the boat the same distance between strokes and going the same speed, same stroke rate.
A very even match. But at some point, you just think one of these boats is going to need to be decisive and try and...
It is interesting. Oxford stroke rate, they're taking less strokes per minute than Edinburgh at the moment. Sometimes you might think that's not as efficient to take as many strokes, but it'll be interesting to see. Maybe they just feel it's a bit lighter and they can move a bit more quickly, and maybe they may have a change of gear.
Nickleby Simmons in the cock seat for Edinburgh University will be looking over the right shoulder, just making sure that they're staying in touch with Oxford University, reporting back to the crew and letting them know what's to be done.
Yeah, coming into the general enclosure now, really Edinburgh really need to start turning the screw, get themselves back into this.
Yeah, not far off, half a length for most of the way down the water so far, but can they turn it round here, Oxford University?
Yeah, Alan French is a new addition to the coaching team here at Oxford, and he's done a really good job changing the culture of the club and making the program really enjoyable for the athletes. And I think the girls are really enjoying the program and running it. And you can see the crew here producing some good speed and holding off Edinburgh.
Catherine King, you can see there in the Oxford University bow seat, and here's Edinburgh. Isabel Clements in the bow seat for them, and they're going to have to really go at it now because they're in front of Stewart's enclosure and there's not too much of the race left. It's been a good race, it's been a tight race, but Oxford University got their quarter of a length, maybe half a length up early and just sat on that, and they've been able to see off Edinburgh University with that margin of lead all the way down. It's been a good tight race though, both boats in contention all the way through.
And just as it turns out, their base boat speed was the same, and Oxford got half a length and they just maintained it all the way through.
In front of stewards, it is a good tight finish to the race, but Oxford University survive the Island Challenge Cup heat. It was a tough one against Edinburgh University A. Through go Oxford University to the next round of the Island Challenge Cup. Another close race in the island. We've seen a few of them in